like, when did we start talking? Like, what?
Oh
How
yeah.
do we know each other? And it was so funny. I found like the first email that you wrote into me, and then it was just funny because you, at the time, you were working at a university with undergrads.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see like that jump.
What year was that? Like, how far back did it go?
17, August 2017. I know.
Wow.
I know. It's like, talk about 4 years of intermittent contact.
How fun.
Yeah.
Feels
Yeah.
like yesterday, but all right. Yeah.
I know. So Caitlin, you are, and I mean this as the ultimate compliment, such a hustler. I remember being really inspired by your business model and all of the public facing work that you did advocating for PhDs. I mean, especially on LinkedIn, which is where I seem to catch all of your stuff the most. And even though I like, when we first met, you were sort of transitioning to becoming a career coach, and I wasn't really interested in becoming a career coach, mostly because I couldn't land a career. So I was like, I don't think that job's for me. But I really like took to light this like dissertation editing and all of that, and sort of kept that in the back of my mind as a business model that I wanted. And when I sort of was ready to get back into freelancing full time, it was definitely like you were a good model. You were a role model, both like for business and of course, like the whole leaving academia thing. So I absolutely identify as a high achiever who has been absolutely stuck for what seemed like an eternity after I left academia. I feel like we spoke in 2017 and I was like, sort of the wind was beneath my sails, and then the lawsuit, and then the bankruptcy just sort of ripped those sails apart. And I vowed to never speak to academics again because I was sick of them, and went into secondary education. And then was, of course, like, now I need to be a whistleblower and burn this shit show down. And so now I'm sort of back, I think, where I belong. But let's start with what your 3-step system is, and like why, like how did you come at this? Like, what's the origin story of this book?
Yeah. So, well, it was in 2016. So just ahead of you, I was having a career crisis of, this was my dream. I was an assistant professor. I'd gone straight through from grad school, and it was like, here I am, I have arrived, and I have all the things I ever wanted. And yet here I am stuck and feeling unfulfilled. And like, this isn't what I want to do for the next 30 years. So I was having that moment, and over the next 4 to 5 years, I developed the establish, embrace, and vision framework for how I dealt with feeling stuck. And I developed it also. I am someone who loves to experience something and then turn around and help others who are going through something similar almost immediately.
Right? Same.
Because I'm so fresh in it,
Right.
of like, I just did it.
Like, exactly. I've already blocked out most of grad school, and that was only 4 years ago, 5.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't often coach graduate students anymore. That's especially after earning tenure and being a department chair, like the gap became too wide.
Interesting. Like, how are you defining high achiever in the book, first of all? So let's start there. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm a high achiever just because I'm miserable all of the time and work all of the time. Are those the qualifications to pass?
Well, you can be a high achiever and we can work on the miserable part. But yeah, generally high achievers have a master's degree or higher, climbed some kind of ladder. So our attorney friends, the veterinarians, the doctors, I coach a lot of doctors, physicians now, and anyone that followed a traditional ladder like that is often a high achiever.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And I'm of course, like, all of your LinkedIn posts and the things that I've enjoyed most about following you are all like your psychological take on stress, on careers, and all of that. And I'm sure this was sort of a main reason for your book. So why is it important to move beyond stress? Isn't stress a good thing? Like, aren't we supposed to, I mean, like, you tell one high achiever to not be stressed out, and I think they get stressed out about it, right? I mean, at least I do, just at the thought.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I was at the gastroenterologist in my early 20s, and they're like, do you think that some of your health issues are related to stress? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? I'm not that stressed. But I was hanging out with all other high achievers who were a little too stressed.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a 13-year journey of shutting my body down
Yep.
in response to climbing that ladder.
Yep.
So let me climb the academic ladder. And at the same time, my body needs to shut down. So I become a brain on a stick so I can do all the things. And it's such a power conversation, right? Like academics could rule the world if they were embodied and reduce their stress.
I agree. Yeah, I think academics, or just anybody who has worked very hard to accomplish anything, I think that's our Achilles heel, right? I mean, I'm sort of coming off of that 13 years of being cruel to my body via stress, and it's it's maintenance. Like the body keeps the score, and it's been one of those things that I've now really thought about working into what I want next out of life, what I want my business to look like, and what I want like my writing life to be. And I've sort of rearranged my life to minimize stress and to like have set limits on working. And I mean, I don't always abide by them. Like I'm totally going to break that rule today and work too much. How do you handle the good stress? Like a good amount of stress. We need the stress, right?
Part of it. Yeah. Like the adaptive part, or the eustress, as we say, compared to knowing your personal limits of when it starts to go too far. Right. So is my body tense, or is my sympathetic nervous system so aroused that I'm anxious all the time and I can't bring myself down even when it is time to relax? So I work with a lot of clients who are like, well, I took the day off, but I still feel like I need to do everything. I still need to be productive. I can't handle being bored. Oh, God. So I've worked with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got to balance it out.
Yeah. Give us just a little sneak peek about what the 3-step system is.
Yeah. So establish in particular is establishing your foundation. So we got establish, embrace, and envision. Establish is all about your foundation. So like, how do you help yourself not be the brain on the stick? What do you do about time? A lot of people are still dealing with time management or grasping after more time. And so I walk through that process. I also talk about personality, being a developmental psychology background, PhD, right. The personality piece, and then also where are you in the growing up stages? So developmentally, do you have pieces that you need to reflect on from your past and heal or integrate so that you feel more of a grown up right now? Yeah.